Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time you're viewing this. This is my video presentation for Project 2 4323. This is Armand Mitlecamp, student number 307299696. And yeah, for an introduction, the technology stack I used was for the back end it was ASP.NET MVC. For the front end it was Angular 10 with a bit of Bootstrap for styling purposes, and it's hosted on Microsoft Azure Web Services, the front end and the API to boot, and the DB was created in SQL Server and is hosted locally. Just before I go through the rubric, I just quickly want to demonstrate my project. So when a user visits the site, this is what he or she will see, and basically the approach I use for this website is I made it as simple as possible. All the only skills I wanted to test and better myself is actually create an API, create a front end using a new technology such as Angular, and enabling those two components to speak to each other, and front end to back end to front end, and store things in a DB, retrieve things from the DB data, personal information, that sort of thing, and actually um, get this application on the cloud. That's the only um, things I wanted to test and wanted to better of myself, because I was still new to most of this type of stuff this beginning of the year. So that's all I wanted to test. So this program is very simplified. It's not very complex. So when a user visits the site, this is what we'll see, and you'll be able to traverse through different tables regarding personal information, and um, sorry, there's metadata about the personal information as well. Sorry, and um, user can also um, edit, update, and delete records in the table. I'm not going to demonstrate that now. This was done through Bootstrap. You can add an update and delete as well. And if you're in the metadata table, you can also upload a profile picture. So that's a basic demonstration of my project. I'll explain the add and update and delete and all those functions later on. Let me just start with the rubric. So in the database, is there a database that stores any kind of data? Yes. I've created the DB in SQL Server, and there's different tables relevant to different types of personal information. Bioinfo, let me just show you here. Bioinfo, oh, sorry, execute query, displays information, just general information about a user. Then you have contact info, that's basically just email and cell phone number. File names is the data that's the data in the table is basically your profile picture and your Excel and your text files. Names, then you have your metadata, that is query data from the other tables. Oh, and just a quick note before I forget, my apologies for if the audio is cuts out or anything. I'm using a very standard um, video camera mic. It's nothing too fancy, so yeah, apologies if the audio cuts out or anything. So yeah, for the first point, yes. Is the database laid out to store metadata? I've already explained that. Metadata table in the DB that queries uh, personal information from the other tables. Sorry. Next, is the database laid out to access data in an efficient manner? Yes. Okay, so then for the front end, is there a valid login that uses a form of security such as JSON? Unfortunately, no. As I said before, I wanted to simplify this program as much as possible. There is some security regarding backend when it comes to exporting the table data, but that's about it. Does the front end provide a way to manually edit incorrect classified data? So the only way that is possible for me at the moment with my project, sorry, this is the backend. The only way for me to do that is to delete the record and then insert the record again, because I don't know, for some reason the update doesn't work. It is supposed to. Let me just demonstrate. It does delete and it does add as well. So cell number null after feed and zero, yep, after feed null. Let's say Daphne met at mweb.co.za, and I'm just gonna put in a random 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Add. Insert successful. So the insert works, delete works, but the update is never successful, and I couldn't figure out why. But just to show you here, the insert does work. And I don't know why, because if I go here in my API, I've tried different syntaxes for the update query, and it just doesn't want to work properly. So I don't know. So no, for where is it now? Manually edit, no. Does the front end facilitate a file upload just on the graphical user interface, even if an API part doesn't work? It does support a profile picture upload. So if you go to metadata, and let me just choose a file here, let's choose this or something. It should be uploaded, and in my backend here is the image. Data class API photos is a folder. I can't show you now. It's still running. Yeah, but it is there. The upload does work. Does the front end display the metadata? Yes, kind of. It doesn't display the profile picture itself, but for this record, it does display the file name of the photo that's been uploaded, which is this one. Okay, so that's it for the front end. Can the API handle a file upload? Yes, I just demonstrated that as well. Can the API process a file and open it if zero classification occurs? I'm really not too sure about this one, but yeah. Does the API support manual updating? It's supposed to, and it does support it, but it just, every time I test it through Postman, it wasn't successful, so I just moved on. And does the API handle the data and connect to the DB and absolutely nothing else? Yes, it does. Okay, so hosting, is the front end available on the cloud? Yes, it is. Here's the link to where it's been hosted on Azure, and as you can see, everything is being updated and displayed here. This record we just added is already updated. Okay. Is the application command auto deployed using CI/CD technologies? Yes. Is the API available on the cloud? Yes, the API is available as well. Here's the API, also hosted on Azure. So yes, the API is hosted. And is the database on the cloud? No, the database is locally hosted. I could host it on Azure as well, but that would take some editing in my code and the connection string and stuff like that. So for now, it's just locally hosted. And then for the last part, the classification, does the API classify Excel data? For this, let's just open Sorry about this. This is supposed to say export to CSV. I mean to TXT. But yes, it does classify Excel text, and the file format, any other file format, was the profile picture I've demonstrated a bit ago. So yeah, for the Excel and text data, this needs to say TXT, but I've only implemented for the users table, and as you can see here, users only has one record at the moment. Let's just go to the API, and it can export and download that user list table. As you can see here, here's a text file, your column IDs, and the data relevant to those columns. And for Excel as well, it's just not neatly exported. It looks the same as the text file, but yeah, column IDs and the information relevant to those columns as well. So yeah, that's about everything. Again, apologies if any audio cut out or anything. It's nothing I can do on my end about that. I don't have a better microphone. But yeah, thank you for this opportunity. I really learned a lot, especially about APIs and connecting them to a front end and getting the full stack application on the cloud as well. So thank you, and please stay safe during these times, and yeah, thank you.